That's a little snippet of a great Maverick song from their 1994 album called Oh What a Crying Shame. The song is actually called What a Crying Shame. And that was the album where I first got to know this fantastic band called Mavericks, originally from Miami, Florida. Now they are out of Nashville, as you probably wouldn't be surprised. They are primarily known, or they were primarily known in the early days as a country band, but they play so much more than country music. They play, heavily Latin-influenced country. They play rock. They play, rockabilly, just about everything you can imagine. And they're one of my all-time favorite bands. And I've mentioned this in different posts I've done in the past, but I first got introduced to the Mavericks around that same time, 1994, 1995, through my brother Tom, who was a guitar player and was at that time playing country music. And he was a huge fan of the Mavericks. And so he turned me on to the band. Now, the principal songwriter and the singer is a guy named Raul Malo, is a Cuban-American. Wrote a wonderful song called From Hell to Paradise, talking about his family coming to the U.S. from Cuba and fleeing oppression there. But aside from being a great songwriter, Raul Malo has one of the most incredible voices I've ever heard. I mean, he's often compared to Roy Orbison. He's very much on that level of singer. He's really one of the greats up there with, Aretha Franklin and Freddie Mercury and anybody else you can name who's just got a phenomenal voice for pop music. He's that good. And the band is just a blast. Don't let the country label fool you. They're phenomenal. They're so much fun. They put on a great live show. They always have an accordion player. They always have a sax and a trumpet and great keyboards on top of the more standard country arrangements. The lead guitar player, although Raul plays a lot of lead himself, but the lead guitar player is a guy named Eddie Perez, who's just fantastic, scorching hot guitar player, great music. If I'm not mistaken, Eddie played years ago with Dwight Yoakam, who's also a great country artist. But here's what I want to share with you today on this lovely Friday. There's some very sad news on the Mavericks front, which is that Raul Malo, who had been battling colon cancer for a while, but was still performing and engaged in music as much as possible, recently was diagnosed with a very, very dangerous and rare form of cancer in the brain. It actually affects the membranes in his brain. And, it's a very, very sad time for Raul Malo and his family. He's still fighting it. He's still with us, and we hope he is for a long time. But it's a very serious situation for him and for his health. So I mention that not only because you should go out and buy a bunch of Mavericks music because it's fantastic, but I also mention it because the band was supposed to be performing tonight and tomorrow night at the Ryman Auditorium in Nashville. And Raul's really not capable of performing right now, which is so sad because we just saw him we saw the band back in March of 2025, this year, opening for Dwight Yoakam. And that was just a fantastic show up in Milwaukee. But anyway, so what's happening tonight and tomorrow night at the Ryman is that the band is playing without Raul Malo, but they're bringing on a whole bunch of other artists to help the band celebrate 35 years in the business, and then also to honor Raul Malo and his incredible contributions, not just to country music, but to Latin music and to pop music generally. There'll be a number of great artists joining them. J.D. McPherson, Steve Earle, one of my absolute favorites. Let's see, I'm looking at the information on my computer screen. Jimmie Vaughan, Marty Stuart. Anyway, a whole bunch of great people. Oh, and a group from Cuba called the Sweet Lizzy Project that the Mavericks have promoted in recent years. And you can actually tune in and watch and help support Raul Malo and his family. There's a website called nugs.net, N-U-G-S period or dot, N-E-T. that provides live streaming services and downloadable music and so forth. But they are going to live stream both shows, tonight and tomorrow night. It costs $24.99 to tune in, but it is a fundraiser for Raul and his, help to defray some of his healthcare costs. So anyway, that is why I am dropping in and maybe not playing the best version of What a Crying Shame, but it's a great song. It's one of my favorite songs of all times. And you should definitely support the Mavericks. God willing, Raul will be back with us and out on the road again. And if that comes to pass, please don't miss the opportunity to see him live if they get back to it. Tune in tonight, help support the family's GoFundMe. And that's it. Happy Friday.